Hollywood is being rebuilt by artists not afraid to disrupt the status quo, telling fresh stories and bringing to life characters who until now have been confined to the margins. This is Emerging Hollywood. Peace to the planet. I go by the name of Charlamagne the God, and the man I'm with today needs no introduction. He's a New York Times bestselling author, host of The Daily Show, my man Trevor Noah. Trev, what's happening, brother? Now, as an immigrant, do you feel responsible to advocate for other immigrants through your company?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Americans use the term immigrant so broadly and it's interchangeable. When people say immigrants in America, a lot of the time what they're talking about is a person who comes here from Mexico. You know? People don't think of Chris Hemsworth as an immigrant. So when people say immigrants in America, I've noticed that the terminology specifically refers to a certain type of person who many people perceive having a certain backstory and journey and purpose in America. But I look at everyone. Justin Bieber's an immigrant. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Drake is an immigrant. Yeah. Exactly. So I don't think I've ever thought of it in that way. What I do think about when I'm creating my comedy is trying to connect to the most honest and human experience. You know, I think, you know, as people we have a tendency to feel when it applies to us or people close to us, and as soon as we're out of the danger or out of we're in the shade, then we start going like, I don't know about those people, I don't know about those people. And so for me, what I'm constantly trying to do is go, are we having an honest conversation about these people with regards to how America, treats them? And I think that's what I'm always trying to do, and it's changed in my life because I learn things, I haven't always held the views that I've held. I haven't always been informed. And I think that's what being informed is about, is like learning and unlearning, which is even harder to do.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing more unlearning as I get older. You know what I'm saying?
Which is a good thing, because most people do it the other way around.
Yeah, they hold on to just their beliefs that they've had their whole life.
Most people are just like, I'm tired. Yeah. I'm tired of learning new shit. I'm done.
But what was the influence of media in your childhood? Like, how did that shape your perspective?
I think it depends on what media. American media played a big role in defining how I saw the world. Mm-hmm. I watched American sitcoms growing up. And what was weird in South Africa was we had all of the shows coalesced. So I didn't know that they were from different networks or they appealed to different groups. So for me, Sister was the same as, Murder, She Wrote. Like, they were all in the same vein. Yeah, like, it was in the same space. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasn't like, this is for a certain type of viewer and that's for a certain type of viewer.
Oh, guys, it was all American to you.
It was just like, American. It was just American TV. Like, when I used to watch American TV, I genuinely thought, like, the population in America was, like, 50% black, 50% white, because of how we had the shows.
Gotcha.
I was just like, it's just, this is how this world is. The black people have houses where they go upstairs. It's like, man, they're balling in America. Good times.
Oh, you never saw Good Times.
I never saw Good Times. That's funny enough, yeah.
Now, how did growing up in South Africa shape the way you view American politics?
What's interesting about South African politics is that in many ways, it has echoes of American politics, specifically with regards to our histories. We both share histories where black people have been oppressed just because of the color of their skin. We both have histories where black people have had to fight just to be considered equal. We also both have histories and presents where black people are now going, hey, freedom was the beginning of the journey. Now we need to find a way to overcome all of the implicit obstacles that have been placed in our way. So in many ways, those things are very similar across countries. What has been different for me is South Africa was a minority that was oppressing a majority, where in America it was the opposite. And so in South Africa, once power shifted, you had a world where the black government forced people to acknowledge what had happened. It feels like Americans they just ended and it's like moved on. It was very much like, all right, black people can vote, now it's done. Mm-hmm. All right, black people, you can, black president, it's over now, right? Let's move on. Whereas we had to have painful and specific conversations about what was done to black people in our country. And I think that stuck with a lot of people, and that created an honest base for the country to grow from. It's not easy, and it didn't fix everything, but I do think it fertilized the soil so that, like, the roots of honesty could, dig into the ground. And I've noticed a lack of that in America, and it's because of just the way people have been educated. A lot of people are like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. What do you mean redlining? What do you mean? What are you talking about? And you're like, you don't know this? You don't know how black people weren't able to live in certain areas. You don't know that black people weren't given access to home loans. You don't know that black people weren't given access to credit, which is how you grow your wealth in America. You don't know these things, and people genuinely don't know. And so then you understand, if they don't know that, it can affect how they perceive a problem, as opposed to them going, yeah, I see why you are in this position. It's them going, clearly you're lazy and I'm not. And so those are the biggest things, and that's what shaped, I think, how I see the politics. You know, South Africa has a similar history, but it's helped me understand why there's some of the gridlock in conversations in America.
For more episodes of Emerging Hollywood, subscribe to The Hollywood Reporter on YouTube.